And welcome back to Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. We're gonna go ahead and finish up this... Oh, there's another thing up here. Okay, we're gonna do this and then we're gonna finish up this area by interrogating these guys. There's another one. I guess I lied at the end of last episode. Alright, well here we go. Oh, hello. I think that's too bright for... Okay, that's cool. Oh, poor thing, that arm is really struggling to clean up this car. To be fair, I wouldn't want to clean up all this mess either. Let's just leave it alone and do its thing. Yeah, probably for the best. Alright, let's go. Fancy a poem? I don't think we have enough evidence yet. Why don't we look around a little more first? What? What did I miss? The door? Shadow supposedly walked through the library car before going to the saloon car. When Shadow left the library car, he locked this door on his way out. There's gotta be a reason he's doing this. Should we make a note of it? Does this look locked? Does this look locked to you? Can I get one of the lock YouTubers in here? I'm no expert, but I'm pretty sure this lock is not locked. Yeah, I do believe we should. Shadow's lock is added to your inventory. Thanks, Tails. You didn't have to shove that in my pocket, but okay. I think we found enough clues. Let's go interrogate Vector and Espio and find out what really happened. Alright, dude. It's just a game. So the two of you don't... Oh. So the two of you don't believe us, eh? So the two of you don't believe that we're detectives. What role are we playing here? Calm down. Calm down, Tails. It's just a game. One of you killed Sonic, didn't you? I'm gonna see you hanged for this. Okay. So the two of you don't believe us, eh? It's not that I don't trust either of you, but I wouldn't be a proper detective without examining the validity of your alibis. Bitter and I are here to confirm two things. Why Vector left to go play games with Knuckles, and if Espio really was reading in the library car. Vector, we'll start with you. Why did you leave the library car to visit Knuckles? We're prepared to present evidence if nah. Oh, that's easy. I got bored. What? I wasn't entertaining him enough, it seems. Vector enjoys being social. Plus, we were instructed to mingle. I remembered the arcade machine in the saloon car, so I figured I'd go check it out. This seems to line up with the information we gathered with Knuckles. Then that brings our attention to you, Espio. Rouge entered the library car, found something, then left. You said you immediately started reading, but were you actually reading the entire time you were in the library car? Of course he was. Once Espio starts reading, he doesn't stop till he's done. I've seen it happen. It must have been a really good read. What was the book? Espio doesn't owe you that, detective. Let the man live. What if it was embarrassing? What if it was 50 Shades of Grey? What kind of things do you think I read? Katakana Roma? Katakana Roma. Whoops. No. Katana Roma. Okay. Okay, cut. I'm going to just redo this whole video. I can't believe I just said katakana romance. What exactly would a katakana romance be? Okay. What kind of things do you think I read? I don't know. Samurai romance? If you won't talk, I have a hunch on what the book might be. Bitter, could you help me out? Ugh. What did, you know, it's really concerning if, oh, I thought, it's gonna be like, because as far as I know, Espio's never been a bad guy per se, so it'd be really weird if he was reading Eggman's autobiography. But that's not the book that's available. A manual? You think Espio was reading instructions? What argument could you possibly have to support this? I'm not good at thinking. Obviously, if you heard that katakana romance thing. Oh, oi! Bitter. Okay. Bitter, use your brain. I don't have one. Why do you think I'm working on a which train? On a train. At a train? I'm working at a train. I can't run off the side of this thing, right? Not enough rings. Okay. Oh, for shit's sake. Oh. Come on. No! Oh, I told you. I told you. That was a bad idea. I can't exactly move in midair, can I? If this takes too much longer, I'm just gonna have to edit this. And I really don't want to. I don't rage quit funny enough. Hoich. Okay. There are books scattered around the floor, sure, but the remaining books on the shelves were all in alphabetical order. All except this manual, meaning someone at the very least picked this manual up and put it back in the incorrect place. This lack of attention is so becoming of you, Espio. Oh. I didn't even bother to read this, and it's like the complete opposite. I didn't expect this to be like the same train of thought. This lack of attention to detail isn't normally like you, Espio. Hey, now, I won't have you insulting my pal like this. Calm down, Vector. I know you mean well, but I can handle myself. Apologies, Espio. A butcher and a poet friendship can form any... What? Oh, not... Not a butcher and a poet friendship. Hey, butcher and a poet. Friendship can form anywhere. Okay. That is indeed the book I was reading. The Mirage Express Manual. Trains are cool. In that case, we'd like to ask you a few questions about the manual. Bitter, if you don't mind. Could you ask Espio some questions about the manual? Just flip a page and ask away. Oh, I see. Quiz Espio about the manual to prove he read it. Which page should I quiz him on? Okay, what efficient and extremely accurate technology was installed to assist in keeping the train spotless? Guys, I've been taking a class online recently. Not about this. But, like... It's a chapter a week, and there's like a chapter review quiz. No, there's a chapter quiz on the reading, and then there's a review quiz at the end of the week. This kind of thing, I am in pain. Robotic arms. During events, they can perform a variety of tasks and are responsible for cleaning up trash and messes afterwards. I remember the conductor saying the train can clean itself. I have a feeling the train company just didn't want to hire any janitors. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. The robotic arms can also detect weapons or explosives being brought onto the train, ensuring passenger safety. Seems like SBO aced that question, Bitter. Hit him with another one. Okay. What is the Mirage Express's cancellation policy? No refunds, and you will be charged a no-show fee. This does not apply if you're over the age of 65. Gee, the person who made this rule must have been over 65. Last one, Bitter. Let's see if SBO can go 3 for 3. Let's be a jerk about it. What was implemented to support the conductor duties and ease general train obligation? Because I would like to see somebody read 400 pages of book in however long it took for this to get started to this point, which I don't think was that long. An intelligent data processing system. It works in tandem with the conductor to assure smooth travel for guests. I remember this. The train has an autopilot, but it can't access its full suite of capabilities without the conductor present. Now, did I pass your little test? No. Totally. It's wild you were able to retain all this information so quickly. A poet's brain is often surprising. I don't know if I'd be bragging about that. You've clearly read the manual. Those answers feel far too specific to be guesses. And you both had the nerve to question my buddy like that. Don't we want to be supporting folks who read? You have to admit, though, reading the entire time a murder occurred does not sound a bit suspicious. Oh, for fuck's sake. You have to admit, though, reading the entire time a murder occurred does sound a bit suspicious, even if true. But he answered all my questions so calmly. That's very impressive. No, I understand everyone's cautious attitudes. Alright, guys, I'm done reading. Good night. Vector was the only one to see me reading, after all. My alibi is hard to substantiate despite being the truth. He knows the word substantiate. Yes, Tails. Well, you definitely read through the manual, so I suppose we can... SBO, is that true? Vector was the only one to see you reading? Yes, that's correct. Problem? Frankly, I don't believe that can be true, and we have evidence to back it up. Bitter? He always puts me on the spot. Yeah, obviously I missed it. Okay. It was Mrs. White in the library with the knife. It should be the lock then. Shadow's lock. Please, SBO. Please, pray tell, what has this got to do with anything? We are up, Bitter. Let's get our argument together. No, let's not get our argument together. I think my cousin had an old Sega Dream Gear. Those were some ridiculously hard games. Oi! Ah! Why? Why would you do this to me? Why? Oh, okay. Shadow walked through the library car to get to the saloon car, where he set the original high score on the arcade machine. Where are we, and which direction are we going? Because I feel like I'm getting, like, confused. Yeah, but I ended up beating it. It wasn't the high score long. Crocs are natural gamers. Okay. Espio said he saw Shadow enter the library car, but he's mentioned nothing about Shadow's return. He only mentions that Vector came back. When Shadow left Knuckles and Vector in the saloon car, Espio was fully seated reading his book for a good while at that point. We know Shadow had to walk back through the library car when he left the saloon car, so there's absolutely no way Shadow and Espio didn't notice one another on Shadow's return trip. I mean, it was a simple slip-up. I was just fully immersed in my book that I didn't notice Shadow. You're telling me... You're telling me you can be so engrossed in something that you don't notice anything else going on? Says me, the person who was the most next likely to be that way. You're telling me the sound of doors opening and locking wouldn't have caused you to look up? Well, you see, no. They wouldn't. I can sense Espio's desperation here. Defending the argument that he was reading the entire time isn't easy. So if you didn't see Shadow returning from the saloon car to lock up all the doors, then at that moment were you really in the library car at all? But how would Espio leave? Shadow locked all the doors and no one saw Espio in the saloon car. It's a mystery, my dear Bitter, one that I would love for Espio to solve. The lock was unlocked. You gotta believe me. That cool demeanor is vanishing. I was so involved with my book I didn't notice Shadow pass back through the library car. Honest. When Vector returned, he even had to tap me on the shoulder to get my attention. Yeah, I think I remember doing that. I must have I must have fringed my friend's death. I must avenge my friend's death, so I'll ask you again, Espio. If you weren't there for Shadow to see you reading, then how did you leave the library car? I didn't. Why doesn't this seem right to me? Tails definitely feels like he's onto something, but I don't see it. Was Espio simply sitting and reading, or did he somehow vanish to not notice... Was Espio simply sitting reading, or did he somehow vanish to not notice Shadow's return to the library car? I mean, he is a chameleon. That's why I paused there, because I was like, chameleon? What should I do? I'm gonna defend Espio. Tails. We have a piece of evidence that can answer all of our problems. Alright, my fellow associate, lay it on me. What piece of evidence shows Shadow and Espio couldn't have seen one another? The lock being unlocked. I swear. Nope. Okay. The library map? Oh, I see. See the exits? They're right across from one another, a straight path. If Shadow walked down the straight path, there is a way Espio and Shadow couldn't have seen one another. It looks like you have to point out where exactly on the map you mean. Where could SBO have been for Shadow not to see him? Interesting. That's where I was sitting reading my book. You know, SBO should have been pointing that out. Anyway, I can second this. When I returned from the saloon car, SBO was in the same spot. That confirms it then. You see, Shadow and SBO couldn't have seen one another from this spot, because a bookcase is in the way. There's no way Shadow could have seen SBO or vice versa. It makes a lot of sense why you never mentioned Shadow's return, SBO. There's just no way you could have seen him. I apologize for losing my cool back there. I felt like I was grasping despite telling the truth. I'm glad you all believe me now. Your alibi isn't the most airtight, but I have no further points. Thank you both for answering all of our questions. Whew, we did it. Another pair of alibis validated. Too many locked doors to worry about, but I'm glad everything straightened itself out in the end. Well, I'm exhausted. I'm gonna go crash here for a bit. These chairs are so comfy. Likewise, I could use a breather. Sadly, our work isn't done. I have plenty of questions for Rouge, and especially Shadow. Oh? It seems the door to the next car is open. 'Cause the lock was unlocked. Amy must have kept it open when she passed through earlier. Ah. Then that's our clue to leave. See you later, Vector and SBO. Give 'em heck, and if you need any meat chopped up, say the word. And if you need any meat, say the word. No thanks. I'll keep my poetry sharp for you both. A murderer is on the loose. While doors keep getting locked, tick, tick, tock goes the clock, while our heroes are in the caboose. At this point, I'm feeling pretty confident in our detective abilities. We're really doing this. Come on, Bitter, let's see what's next. And we will see what's next time. Goodbye.